Now let us address the four padas of Magha Nakshatra, the 10th one, the second one of the Ketu-ruled Nakshatras. Now, as a general rule for Ketu-ruled Nakshatras, think headlessness. Ketu Nakshatras do not feel grounded in this world, especially if this is in your Ascendant. Okay. Or if Ketu is sitting in the first house, you don't feel grounded in this world. You roam around pretty headless because Ketu is a headless planet. So there is an energy of moving very quickly from one thing to another without much of preponderance, without much of forethought, so to speak. Okay? Because Ketu is a very spiritual, spirit type of energy, ungrounded in this physical reality. So this falls in the sign of Leo. So think 5th house, think all matters of children, okay? Think all matters of authority and power, and with Ketu interlaced with that. So that becomes of ancestors. The 5th house is your ancestral place. Pitṛs, they call them in Sanskrit. So there is an ancestral energy. Remember always the life lesson. Alignment with righteousness to command true power is their life lesson. Whatever planets and points are falling in your Magha Nakshatra. Now here we are dealing with the four padas. So what are the four padas of Magha Nakshatra? Before that, one most quick point about Magha Nakshatra people. They start everything from scratch. They have sacrifices with the family. They have no connection with the past, but they need to have intuition from the ancestors. They have to connect with the ancestors, with the people tree. In India, if you come, people go and tie thread around the people tree. People tree has spirits of your ancestors. Planets become like traits which we get naturally over a period of time if guided. They might have inheritance issues. Like I said, it's inheritance, property related or anything. Incomplete work of ancestors are fulfilled here. That's a crucial point. You have come to fulfill the ancestral energy somehow, especially if you have 2 or more planets in Magha. This is dominant. You're not coming just for your soul work. You're coming there to complete some agreement with your ancestral spiritual energy. Okay? Rather than material objects for your own gain. Now let us see the padas and how they represent. So the first pada in Magha goes from Leo to Aries. Aries, remember, it's a poor sign. So starting everything from scratch in Navamsha, Aries is what it signifies. It's a 5-9 relationship. What does this lead to? Putting the 2 and 2 together. If you don't know what this 5, 9, 4, 10, 3, 11, 2, 12 business is, see my other videos on it. I've already covered that in some depth. So the 5-9 relationship brings something from natal Leo to Navamsha Aries in Magha Nakshatra. Taking something which is not meant for them. They will be devoted in their work because this is 9th from Leo, Aries. But due to crisis of wealth, Aries is poor, they will try to reclaim resources that they have given away. You give away something and now you say, I want that back because now I don't have money or something for myself. Don't try to take back what you have already donated. And this Aries will try to do, and because the struggles Aries cannot handle, and it's a very unstable sign, so they start scrambling for things, trying to take back money which they have already given. Okay. Second pada is Leo natal going to Taurus Navamsha. Now Taurus Navamsha has to do with resources. Okay. 410. It has also got to do with spouse, family. Spouse can have very harsh speech here. Because Scorpio is opposite to Taurus. Overindulgent in pleasures. Lots of pleasurable activities you want to do. Multiple relationships. Spends money unwisely as a result. Like gambling and so on. Struggles to achieve success. Taurus 10th from Leo. Taurus becomes the karma of repaying to the public. And therefore you might get infamy as a result. All your bad habits are coming here. I am not sure if the Donald has this particular one. Third pada is Leo going into Gemini. 311 relationship, again working for gaining something. Gemini is a selfish sign. Now it is 11th from the sign of Leo. They only care about their own desires. They go to any length to achieve their desires. No boundaries between ethics and morality. See, typical Gemini. So the morality or the moral compass of Leo is being compromised in this particular pada, you might say. The third pada of Magha. Problems with siblings. You might get wrong friends. Why? It's 11th. Aquarius is the sign of friends and of your elder siblings, really. 11th from Leo plus Gemini. So they might have problems with the community. Aquarius is community due to greed and obsession, which is Gemini. The result of which may result in destruction of morality and values in children. Children, why? Leo is the sign of children, 5th house, traditional. The last pada of Magha, Leo going into Cancer. So there is a 2-12 relationship. Once again, something gained, something lost. Gain and loss is 212. Unable to give emotional support to other people due to their own egos. Okay? Hurt a lot of people in an emotional level. Cancer 12th to Leo. You're hurting the masses. A lot of people in this sense means the masses. Cancer stands for masses. They might earn a lot of wealth. And because of the ego of achievements, they will not be able to understand new things. Leo is education, 5th house, which they do not even know exist. 12th from Leo, blind to the unseen. Facing problems due to being too adamant and unable to adjust to the situation, to change their own belief system. So Leo to Cancer is quite a battle, isn't it? You are unable to give emotional support because you're blind to it. Cancer is 12th to Leo. Okay? So take care of this. Now let's do a deep dive into the padas. Let's get deeper into the podcast, examine some planets and points. And if you're finding something in your own chart in this Magha Nakshatra padas, leave your comments. See how the transits work in your chart. From natal to Navamsha for Magha Nakshatra. Let's deep dive now.
Podcast segment title, The Four Padas of Magha Nakshatra. Subtitle, Planetary Principles and the Inner-Outer Karma Blueprint of Legacy, Power, and Ego Purification. Introduction. Magha, the throne of ancestors and the weight of pride. Magha Nakshatra spans from 0 degrees to 13 degrees 20s in Leo and is ruled by Ketu, the planet of detachment and past life residue. It is symbolized by a royal throne and presided over by the Pitṛs, the ancestral spirits. Magha embodies lineage, legacy, and karmic authority. Those born with strong Magha influence are often drawn to positions of prestige, recognition, or ancestral continuity, but the path is rarely smooth. The Leo Rashi gives Magha its outward confidence and desire to rule, while Ketu ensures that this power must be earned through humility, not entitlement. Magha natives often wrestle with inner conflicts between inherited status and moral action. The karmic test is simple. Will you rule with grace, or will the crown become your burden? Each of the four padas of Magha reshapes the expression of this ancestral force through the fire of Aries, the pleasure of Taurus, the duality of Gemini, and the depth of Cancer. Each Navamsha unlocks a hidden motive beneath the royal surface. Let's explore how each pada governs the soul's karma blueprint before we bring in planetary examples. Magha Pada 1, 0D0/20 Leo. Navamsha sign. Aries, elemental shift, fire to fire. Motivation, dharma, righteous action for self-validation and power. Inner-outer karma blueprint, outwardly noble, expressive and authoritative, Leo Rashi. Inwardly impulsive, survival-driven and combative, Aries Navamsha. This is the royal warrior who believes they must reclaim what was once theirs, by force if necessary. Natives here are devoted to work but often act from scarcity. They may feel entitled to resources or respect, even when it's not rightfully theirs. Crisis of wealth or dignity can push them toward actions that tarnish their legacy. Karmic theme, entitlement over ethics, pride without merit. Growth path, serve the legacy with humility, don't reclaim through desperation. Magha Pada 2, 320 to 6G40 Leo. Navamsha sign, Taurus, elemental shift, fire to earth. Motivation, Artha, to accumulate and enjoy the fruits of power. Inner-outer karma blueprint. Outwardly regal, determined, pleasure-loving, Leo Rashi. Inwardly indulgent, comfort-seeking, stubborn, Taurus Navamsha. This pada reflects the aristocrat who indulges excessively in luxuries, relationships, or status-driven consumption. Harshness in communication, especially toward one's spouse or family, creates a karmic imbalance. The pursuit of materialism here often outweighs moral refinement. Karmic theme: fame without grace, indulgence over restraint. Growth path: use wealth and voice to uplift, not dominate or isolate. Magha Pada 3, 60-40, 10 degrees Leo, Navamsha sign. Gemini, Kama Pada elemental shift, fire to air. Motivation, Kama, desires as identity and pleasure as pursuit. Inner-outer karma blueprint. Outwardly ambitious, dramatic, desire-driven, Leo Rashi. Inwardly restless, curious, ethically unmoored, Gemini Navamsha. This pada is the prince with no inner compass, only goals. There are no limits to what they might pursue in the name of pleasure, power, or thrill. Relationships, siblings, and communities may suffer as they cross ethical lines. Moral decay passes to children, especially if greed remains unregulated. Karmic theme: desires override duty, legacy is diluted through indulgence. Growth path: reconnect to inner truth, desire without dharma leads to downfall. Magha Pada 4, 10 degrees to 13 degrees 20 Leo. Navamsha sign, Cancer, Moksha Pada elemental shift, fire to water. Motivation: moksha, to protect one's legacy through emotional depth. Inner-outer karma blueprint. Outwardly proud and expressive, Leo Rashi. Inwardly emotionally insecure, controlling, and ego-protective, Cancer Navamsha. This is the royal who has everything, but cannot connect. Emotional unavailability and ego rigidity damage relationships. Despite having knowledge and wealth, the native may resist new insights, remaining trapped in their belief system. Public life may flourish, but private evolution stalls. Karmic theme: isolation through ego, misalignment between emotional truth and social status. Growth path: open to change. Real power lies in evolving belief, not defending it. Magha Pada summary: the 4 thrones of karma. Pada 1 Aries seeks recognition through action and conquest. Trap: reclaiming without merit, impulsive karma loops. Growth: serve the legacy with rightful purpose, not reaction. Pada 2 Taurus seeks comfort and status through resources. Harshness, entitlement, indulgence, growth, refined power with restraint and care in speech. Pada 3 Gemini seeks fulfillment through intellectual pleasure and variety. Trap: greed, moral fluidity, neglect of values. Growth: anchor actions in ethical alignment and social impact. Pada 4 Cancer seeks emotional validation through legacy and pride. Trap: emotional rigidity, inability to grow or relate. Growth: soften the ego, evolve the heart, educate the soul. Closing thought: Magha teaches us, the crown must be earned every day. Planets in Magha Nakshatra reflect ancestral blessings, but also karmic burdens. Do we honor those who came before us with dignity and wisdom, or do we exploit the throne for selfish gain? Each pada challenges the native to understand that power without introspection becomes tyranny, and that true legacy is written not in gold, but in the lives we elevate. Next in the series, Purva Falguni, the playful court of the king, where love and luxury test loyalty and self-worth. Magha Nakshatra pada with examples of planets, exploring how planetary placement shapes karma, expression, and evolution across the 4 padas. Magha Pada 1, Aries Navamsha, Leo 0 Group 3, Outer Self Rashi, confident, dramatic, legacy-focused Leo. Inner Self Navamsha, bold, action-oriented, instinct Aries. Motivation, dharma, to reclaim position and dignity, often by force or effort. Examples: Sun in Pada 1. Exudes leadership with conviction, driven by past karmas to claim what is lost. Internally restless, may act impulsively to secure status. Result: may achieve great positions, but risks acting entitled or impatient. Legacy stabilizes only when effort aligns with righteousness. Mars in Pada 1, fierce ambition, desires to dominate and lead, internally driven by personal victory, sometimes at the cost of others. Result: can become a trailblazing leader or a karmic rebel. Must avoid unethical shortcuts when climbing social ladders. Moon in Pada 1, emotionally fiery, honors ancestors, yet acts rashly under emotional stress. Result: Can be a patriotic public figure but needs emotional maturity to avoid impulsive karmic fallout. Magha Pada 2, Taurus Navamsha, Leo 3020 to 6340. Outer self, regal, status-driven, pleasure-seeking. Inner self, stable, possessive, sensual. Motivation, Artha, to gain wealth, comfort, and indulgence through legacy or lineage. Examples, Venus in Pada 2, luxurious, artistic, and graceful. Internally values material beauty and comfort over higher ideals. Result, may attain fame or wealth in entertainment or fashion. Karma builds around misuse of charm or unbalanced pleasure-seeking. Mercury in Pada 2, polished communicator with diplomatic flair. Inwardly pragmatic and persuasive in accumulating wealth. Result, strong orator or strategist, but must avoid harsh or transactional tone in relationships, especially marriage. Saturn in Pada 2, slow but steady climb toward material success. Inwardly cautious and grounded. Result, becomes a trusted authority if values remain intact. Karmic strain arises if indulgence overrides responsibility. Magha Pada 3, Gemini Navamsha, Leo 640, 10 degrees self, outer self, commanding, expressive, proud. Inner self, mentally restless, curious, dual-natured, motivation. Kama, to fulfill personal desires and dominate communication-based domains. Examples, Mercury in Pada 3, sharp-minded, witty, and persuasive. Can manipulate truth to serve desire or ego. Result, excellent writer, speaker, or media figure. Karma tightens when intellect is used to exploit or mislead. Rahu in Pada 3, fascinated by power and connection. Outwardly charismatic, inwardly desires shortcuts to influence. Result, rapid rise in politics or entertainment, but fall from grace if moral compass is ignored. Jupiter in Pada 3, knowledgeable and expressive but risks becoming dogmatic or performative in belief. Result, may lead in education or spiritual platforms, but must avoid preaching values not personally practiced. Magha Pada 4, Cancer Navamsha, Leo 10 degrees 0 3020, outer self, noble, authoritative, dramatic, Leo. Inner self, emotional, nurturing, guarded, Cancer. Motivation, Moksha, to protect legacy through emotional control and inner secured. Examples, Moon in Pada 4, deep emotional drive toward legacy and protection of family name. Can become cold or unavailable emotionally. Result, a protective leader or caretaker, but must soften rigid emotional patterns to avoid isolation. Ketu in Pada 4, detached from fame despite being in the spotlight. Inwardly disillusioned, often karmically bound to ancestral wounds. Result, mysterious public figures or mystics. True power comes when ego is dissolved and past karma consciously healed. Sun in Pada 4, outward king-like persona, but inner emotional insecurities may distort decisions. Result, can become a powerful ruler or teacher, but must open emotionally to lead wisely and evolve spiritually. Magha Pada summary, 4 thrones of desire, duty, and detachment. Pada 1 Aries, seeks, status reclaimed through conquest. Trap, aggressive entitlement, moral missteps. Growth, align ambition with ancestral integrity. Pada 2 Taurus, seeks, legacy through wealth and pleasure. Trap, overindulgence, harsh relationships. Enjoy responsibly, serve beyond self. Pada 3 Gemini, seeks, fulfillment through knowledge, connection, and fame. Trap, manipulation, ethical dilution. Growth, use intellect to uplift, not exploit. Pada 4 Cancer, emotional protection of name and tradition. Trap, ego rigidity, emotional detachment. Growth, lead with vulnerability and evolve belief systems. Conclusion, planet plus Pada, the karma of inherited power. Magha planets show us what we've inherited and what we might squander. Each Pada reveals how ego, desire, and ancestral memories shape action. To truly rule from this nakshatra, one must not only sit on the throne, but understand its karmic price. Rule with clarity. Serve with heart. That's how the Magha legacy endures.